Hangout is live. Oh, very nice. Looks a little better that way. Sup? Nobody that's here. Nobody knows. Suppose I've seen Monday. Can't trust that day. Monday. What's up? It says there's a whole 2 or 3 viewers. What's up, dude? Invite people. Anyone want to join? They can come hang out. Because, they call it hangout for a reason. Because, you just hang out. Because, hanging out. And it is Monday. Kill the fan, shut the door. I have 0 viewers. I guess nobody's viewing. Everybody just left. They came, they saw, they left. Oh boy. What to do tonight? Anything fun and exciting? Don't really want to watch TV. Just made an awesome goulash. It says 0. Oh, no, it says 1 viewer. It says you're back. What's up? Mr. Maker from Minnesota, dude. Yeah, I did that earlier. I missed Walter doing his thing, which is no big deal because I really don't care about the alien boxes or any of the other boxes because just not a sample box guy. But I do think they're a cool idea. I don't know. I'm not a big sample person. Got a whole bunch of samples. I hate samples. Got to figure out a way to stitch samples together. Really, really have to come up with a way that works. I've yet to see anything. Everybody's got kind of the same idea, and it just doesn't work. Not well, anyways. I've done it. I can make it work, but it's just not. It's gotta be like a. I'm gonna have to come up with a way because nobody else seems to be able to. I'm almost thinking of taking a pair of these things, wherever they went. Where the hell are they? Oh, right here. Take a pair of these. And I don't know, weld on just a heater block, basically. That's split in half. Put the heater to it. Find one that you can battery operate the heater. Basically, take all that crap out of one of them pens. Split the heater block in half. Split a heat throat or a heat break throat. Piece of tubing. Just have it so you jam them in there, squeeze it together. That kicks it on, heats it up. When you let go, it shuts off. The filament pops out, all sealed together. And it can be done because that's kind of basically what the pallet does. I gotta get a closer look at a pallet, the way the actual splicer head. Kind of steal an idea from them. I actually have a really good idea in my head. I just don't know how to go about doing it. La 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 la. You guys join in. Sucks talking to myself. I don't like talking to myself. Not much fun. I did play with wherever it went. Where the hell did they go? Oh, here they are. This orange here is the 82 Shore Strength flex, and I'll tell you what, this is the most rubbery feel. And I don't just mean that it's flexible; it actually feels rubbery. That makes sense. Most PLAs or TPUs and TPEs don't feel rubbery. They feel like rubber ducky. They feel plasticky. They don't feel rubbery. This feels rubbery. The bitch to print. I have not had a hard time printing any flexibles. And this stuff is stringy as hell. Had a hard time getting it to stick to the bed. There's a little divots all over it. Hey, there he is.
Hey. Yeah, I tried doing a splicer a while back.
Yeah.
Show you what I tried here. If I can.
I tried one and I just couldn't. My biggest thing is I can't figure out a good way to heat it evenly. I think the key is to get an even heating.
Yeah, I took a pair of E3Ds and I kind of spliced them together through.
Yeah, but then you got to slide it all the way through to get it in or out.
Right. First thing was to just see if I could splice filament.
Weld it, yep.
And I got a few successful splices, but nothing that would feed nice down a Bowden tube afterwards.
Right, because it's actually making it too wide.
It would swell, yeah.
Yeah, well, the tube, even though they say 1.75, it's actually closer to 2.
Yeah, you need like a 1.77 or 1.78 core that you can heat up to so it can expand a little bit, but not so much it won't still slide down a Bowden tube.
Yeah, no, when you push it together, you actually have to have it like a 1.72 because, like, if you PETG or PEI line it, PEI, tubing. If you line it with plastic tubing, Teflon tubing, when you push it in and it gets hot, that actually will expand when you push the 2 in. That's actually got give. So it'll actually make it wider. So if you did like a 1.7 interior or, right at 1.75 so you can get the 2 pieces in or something, I don't know. You got to make it, because the minute you do it, you got to put it together and then you got to almost pull it back apart to get it to stay at 1.75 or less.
Yeah, the best results I ever got was pushing the 2 together and then going back and forth a few times so it kind of mixed the 2 together.
Yeah. The best I ever got was I used a lighter and I held them together and just melted it and it got a big old blob and then I just took a utility knife and shaved it down until it was close enough. That's just a pain in the butt.
Trying this new, the adjustable. Remember I sent you that link for the adjustable tensioners?
Maybe, I don't, but sure.
I'm trying out my version of it on the belt printer here. Having a slight issue making everything fit.
Yeah, the problem with adjustable tensioners is you always need to make some piece a little bit too small. And either flexes and like kicks everything out of alignment or just plain breaks. I'm surprised the adjuster on that thing works. That's kind of teeny thin. But it holds up. That's actually every time I've replaced it, it's because I changed the color or changed the shape or, the usual. I got to fix something that's not broken. Yeah, I got to figure out a way to do that. That's my $1 million idea.
Yeah, I tried to think of some way because you almost need to make something you can clamshell.
Yeah, well, you got to be able to clamp it. So you can just, set them in, clamp it down, set them in there. That's what I was saying. If you get like a pair of pliers, and that when you squeeze them together, that kicks it on. The minute you release it, it kicks off the heater. You know,
Yeah.
that's your switch is in between the handles,
What the hell?
and then it pops free when you let it go. Otherwise, you got to slide it through, and you just can't. It either swells up and you can't slide it in and out, or I mean, there's a way to do it because, like I said, that's basically what the pellet does. So
Yeah, I made that suggestion to the pallet guys when they were at IRF. I said, "It's great you're making this." I said, "You need to make something where you can do this on the fly, though."
yeah,
I said, when you look up and go, "Oh crap, I'm about to run out of filament," it'd be nice if you could grab something and go, "Oh, grab another roll, put one end in, one there, hit your little button and go,
yeah." If
undo it,
they
let
could
it
take the
go."
welder head and make it like a $50 like tool.
Yeah.
The whole pallet. They sell more, that's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, and right now they say, their solution is a pallet for every printer, and you can set up auto anti-run out feature with the pallet.
Yeah, but I can't afford a pallet. It's that simple.
Exactly. Oh, I've got one. I can't find time to set it up.
You got a pallet or a pallet 2?
Pallet 2.
Well, send it to me. I'll set it up.
This right here.
Seriously, dude, send it to me. I'll set it up, get it running for you, use it for a little while, and I'll send it back to you all set up. I got nothing to do. That would be a fun little toy to play with. I'll send it back to you. I won't keep it or nothing. Well, unless you want me to keep it.
I keep joking with Mike. I said I should just bring it to IRF with me and convince the pallet guys to help me get it going.
I'll get it going for you.
Because, well, it'd be nice to take it and have these belts going and go, yeah, I'd like to hook the pallet up to it, but I've just been having too much trouble finding time. And so have them go, we'll help you get it going. Because they'd love to see a pallet running on a belt printer.
Yeah. That would definitely be a bonus for them.
I mean, I'm hoping once I get one of these running, I can find the time and money to mess around with doing that. But
you got way too much filament there, dude. Is that all polyalchemy you have everywhere?
Yes.
Holy crap, dude. I want some of that. Well, I have troubles with polyalchemy. It just doesn't adhere well.
Oh, no.
Though.
I tell everybody, it's like if you're looking for adhesion strength, you're looking in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Polyalchemy is a look beautiful filament, not a strong.
Yeah, it's a vase filament.
It's a base. It's like if you want to print, busts and stuff that's going to sit on a shelf and look pretty. Polyalchemy is the way to go. If you want to print something that looks pretty, but also, is your teacup, forget it.
Yeah, no, polyalchemy is, but God, this stuff is beautiful.
You can't have both, unfortunately. It's either works good or looks pretty. It's not both.
There's some that do. I'm liking that new Snow Lab stuff. That stuff's pretty nice.
Well, I meant polyalchemy. I know there's other companies that do that.
I might have to try out some more of that Snow Lab stuff. I want to try the US monofilaments too. They're all because I'm going all HDPLAs. It's just not. They're so much better. They print nicer too. You know what I mean? They're not just stronger and annealable. They actually print nicer. They're a little more buttery. That makes sense.
Yeah, it totally makes sense.
And honestly, Protopasta is about the least buttery of all the HTPLAs. Theirs is about the most rigidy, kind of sharp. You get much sharper detail out of it, but it's not. I mean, I like it.
Oh, my design is fighting me today. I may have to go back to no adjusters. I didn't want to, though. I had it working with no adjusters. I just thought, wow, this is a nice little idea. But everything is fighting against it right now. The heat set pushed a little bit into where the adjuster needs to slide. I don't know how much you can even see from your point of view there.
Can't really see it at all. Can
Shit,
just see a little blue blob with some silver stuff hanging off of it.
Ugh.
Yeah, it ain't gonna matter. Oh crap! I gotta go.
What's the matter?
I gotta go make apple crumble.
Boss has spoken, huh?
Well, no, I want to make the apple crumble. I want to eat the apple crumble. So therefore, I need to make the apple crumble. Well,
Self-serving prophecy, basically, huh?
yeah, well, I asked him to peel the apples because I can't peel the apples and my fingers all screwed up. Can't hold on to them and peel them. Real pain in the butt. You know what? I might just leave the stream going now because it'll only take me about 10 minutes to do it. Tell them it just slice the apples and mix up the crap and throw it on top, throw it in the oven. Doesn't take 10 minutes. You're going to stay there and beat on that thing on the live stream. I'm just going to go and leave it running.
Yeah, just let me show off on your stream, huh?
Yeah, why not? Unless you want to start your own, I don't care.
I still haven't figured out how to do that yet.
Dude,
I know you
so
I haven't bothered playing around with it yet.
It's so freaking easy. I can show you in about 2 minutes. Yes, I heard you, mother.
You better get going before she comes out there and hit you with a wooden ruler or something.
Yeah, that's funny.
Anyways,
I'm going to go do that real quick.
all right.
I'll be back. Make sure don't
Anybody gonna jump in yet for me to harass?
Not really.
Looks like Minnesota Maker's here somewhere, probably just popping in and out. Son of a. This is the exact reason why I don't live stream. Because I'll probably start swearing at some point. Almost got enough off of there. So anybody else in the chat? Maker, you still around, or am I just here working on this thing and talking to myself? Says 2 watching, so Maker probably has it open just in the background, just like I have it. This thing's trying to cut me. Welcome to the 3D Printing Llama. Watch Carl build his belt printer stream. Or fail at trying a new idea anyway. We shall soon find out. What do you do on 3D Printing Llama stream? I stand around, work on my printer, and talk to myself. And still nobody's in there. I lost a screw. There it is. Well, all these people on here talking to me, asking me questions. I don't know what to do with myself. Will belt tensioning on this thing be worth the headache it's giving me right now? That is the question of the day. Hardest part is getting the belt inserted into these little adjustment blocks. You got to have tolerances tight so the belt doesn't pull itself back out. But darn. Really, Maker, you just going to leave me here to talk all by myself? And there's a third person watching now. Somebody else is in here. Come on, people. Type something in the chat. Let me know I'm not in here by myself on Llama's stream. Getting frustrated with a belt tensioner. Or better yet, jump into the stream. Pretty sure he posted the link. Here, talk to me while I'm doing all this. Feeding my face. Okay. Tom went to make apple crisp because if he didn't go make it, he couldn't eat it later. I'm pretty sure I heard some woman yell at him, "Get over here, I told you the apples are peeled." So, or something along those lines. And I'm fighting with this belt tensioner block trying to get the belt inserted into it. And it's not cooperating. Come out easy enough, but it won't go in. Don't get mad, get a bigger hammer. I'm not mad yet. Trust me, and my daughter will attest this. When I get mad, you'll hear it. We joke I'm the loudest person we know. Anybody who's ever dared to get in a shouting match with me usually left with a hearing aid. Now, if I start throwing stuff, pray I don't hit the expensive cameras. A friend of mine told me if I ever did live streams, I should call the show Stupid Hammer. Because we were working on his car one day and trying to break something loose, and the hammer slipped and hit my thumb, and I must have thrown that hammer 100 feet. And of course, it was the stupid hammer's fault.
25 minutes, and I'm going to be eating youngsters.
I got Maker to say something every once in a while in here. He said he was busy feeding his face.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing, is getting prepared to feed my dessert face. I got to shave. Holy crap.
You need the shave?
Yeah.
Have you looked at me lately?
No.
Here, you want a good laugh? At the moment, I probably have more hair than my daughter.
That's sad. Mine actually looks clean and all puffy because it's way too long.
Yeah, I've just gotten to the point where it's like I got a million things to do, and stopping to go get my hair cut is low on the priority list. I've got plenty of hats, and I got a brush, so I can flip it out of the way and keep on moving.
Yeah, it drives me nuts after a while, though. It's so funny because when I was a kid, I used to have long hair, like real long, like ponytail long. I had a beard right down to my belly button. I was a full ZZ Top looking dude in high school. I was like one of 3 people that actually grew hair in high school. I mean, most of them were peach fuzz. I had a full beard in high school.
I could grow.
It was longer than yours.
Grow a beard until I was 25.
I was like 13, 14 when it started, growing. And
I didn't have to shave till I hadn't shaved before I joined the military. And then they tell you in the military you can't have peach fuzz. So you're sitting there shaving a face that doesn't look like it's got any hair on it. And then it started coming in little bits here and there. But I mean, my dad, I think I still have a few patches myself. My dad still has patches on his cheeks that won't grow any kind of hair. So our beards look all splotchy. And the reason I let it get so long here is I've got a spot there. I can't connect my sideburns to my beard. I've got a 1/4-inch gap right at the base of my ear between my sideburns and my beard. And my dad has the same gap. For whatever reason, there's no hair right there.
Yeah, I'm furry, as you can tell. This is like 2 days. I'd grow a mustache again, except for you can see right here, it's completely gone because I had a mountain bike accident and I literally ripped my whole lip up and off.
Ooh.
I face planted. Didn't even realize I'd done it, I did the face plant and I got up. I was like, went back to riding. It was like, oh, there's some blood. It wasn't even bleeding that much because it was all full of dirt, so it clogged it. I didn't realize it. I did it on gravel, on crushed stone. Like, not even crushed stone, but that real sharp black, like, processed stone.
Yeah.
It's not even crushed like regular round stones. It's little shards of stone they put on the trails out in the park. Anyways, so I was like, I better go back and, get it checked out. Put a Band-Aid on, take a shower. So I'm going back and I'm like, what the hell's going on? The flap was starting to flap around. I got back to my car and this lady looked at me and started screaming. And this other dude was coming in with his dogs, and he was like an EMT. He's like, dude, you need to go to the hospital. Let me check that out. And he like called an ambulance. I'm like, no. I only live a mile down the street. I'll, get my father to pick me up and take me. I don't need an ambulance. He's like, dude, go to the hospital. And I guess I didn't realize it, but I literally ripped my whole lip, like right from the center all the way up to my nose and down and around right off.
Oh.
It was just stuck on by two little strings right at my lip and right at the corner of my mouth. So they stitched it all back up and put it all back together, and I had like 30 or 40 stitches all up and over my mouth. But now my mustache won't grow no more. It's all scarred. So I got the little white bald spot right here on the side of my nose. Because I had a mustache then too. I used to have what they used to call the 70s porn stash.
The big hook down like that?
No, the porn stash is just like the right to into your mouth, kind of like the hell is the name, Mr. Kung Fu blonde guy there.
Rover jumped in too. Hey, Rover.
What's up, Rover?
I sat and harassed everybody. I'm like, come on, y'all gonna make me sit here and talk to myself while he's making apple crisp?
Apple crisp. I can already smell it, man. Well, I can smell it on my hands. It's weird. I don't like pie much. I'm not big on cake and pie because, my mother owned a bakery, my, growing up years, right up until I was a teenager when she stopped doing it. So it was like we always had cake and pie around. It's just like, ugh. You have it all the time. You don't really want it anymore.
I've never had that experience.
But
I think people say if you eat too much pizza, you'll stop liking pizza.
No,
I can eat pizza 7 days a week for breakfast.
I lived on pizza when I was at college, and for a 3 years after, it was pizza or tacos. That was pretty much my main diet for lunch and dinner. 7 days a week. It was pizza.
I had a roommate in Hawaii that worked at this place called the Pizza Pirate. It's where I learned to toss pizza dough because I'd hang out with him after work. And I said I wanted to learn how to toss pizza. The owner's like, well, we're getting ready to lock the door. How many bread balls we got in the front fridge? And they're like, 3. Well, you get 3 chances to learn. Because it's like once it moves to the front fridge, they won't put, health code, they can't put it back in the freezer.
Yeah, they got to spin it up and cook it, or they got to throw it out.
Yeah, so most of the time he'd come home with pizzas because they'd spin it up and cook it. Why waste it?
Yeah, right. No, I would too.
We sat there and he showed me how to stretch it out and how to toss it, and I tossed all 3 of those bread balls. But the way he taught me, he's like, hold on, let me get the training aids. He reaches down in this one cabinet, pulls out a pair of flour-covered racket balls. He's like, all right, hold your hands out. I'm like, okay. So he puts the racket balls in my hand. He goes, all right, don't let go of those racket balls. And he gets the dough up in the air, and he's like, all right, I'm going to toss you the dough. And he tossed me the dough. First thing I do is let go of the racket ball and put my fingers up to catch it. My fingers go right through. He goes, no, don't let go of the racket balls. Use the back of your hands to catch it. So I picked the racket balls back up, tried it again, and learned, okay, yeah, you don't use your fingers. You use the back of your hands the whole time you're moving and tossing.
Yeah, because your fingers just puncture right through it.
Yep.
Never thought of that, but yeah, that makes sense.
I go in there at the end of the night and they get bored. He had like a pizza counter like this that was stations down one side for pulling out the dough and stretching it. Then the other side, you put the sauce and the toppings and everything on. They had a fluorescent light hanging down from the ceiling. They'd sit there and they'd get bored and they'd start tossing the dough up over the fluorescent light and down to the other side and across the room. And they had a loft up above the place where the office was. If they were really bored, they'd toss it all the way up to like the stairs and then down from the loft. And if you were in there at closing, you could get quite a show watching them toss the pizza dough around the building.
Setting the timer.
T-minus how many minutes till you go stuff your face and make me hungry?
Well, 20, 25 minutes, so I just said it 18 because it's been probably 5. Where's My little iPad holder. I had it here. I was just staring at it. There it is. My custom iPad holder stand. Works very well, actually. I can't believe, considering it's a one-shot deal. But it works well. Holds my iPad. See? Holds my iPad. Works very well. Very cool, huh? My iPad holder. I think you guys should make one. They're on Thingiverse. I gotta find somebody that's gonna send me something and give me stuff to do. Like Chris Riley to get me to send some printers to me. Yeah. He just got an FT6. What a bummer. I'm really kind of disappointed in Folger Tech, to be honest with you. Because that CNC machine is kind of a piece of junk. I shouldn't say that. They got to get a proper manual for the wiring.
So figured it out.
It just never made a real manual. They just got like a little picture with, and it's not even a good picture. It looks like a 10-year-old drew it. And none of it makes sense. And of course, Folger Tech's pretty good at updating stuff when they find problems. So half the stuff they have listed in it is not right. And then you got to go find another picture with the updates in it. It's just, and wiring is not my thing. The structure, their structure manual was all screwed up too. It was all miscombobulated and not right. But, that stuff just makes sense to me. So when I look at it, I go, that's wrong. It's got to go this way. And I just fix it. I don't even have to look at the manual. Mechanical stuff just makes sense.
Yeah.
Stuff does not make sense to me. It's all just, I can run wires, the actual physical running of a wire. I know to run a red wire to a red and a blue to a blue, and, hook a mechanical, like stepper motor up or whatever. But where they go to and the MOSFETs and what is this and the controller boards and how this thing works, I got no freaking clue. I am clueless. Then I was sitting there trying to watch Ed design something. And he's always on Twitch. I don't know why he's stuck on Twitch. I can't stand Twitch. I was trying to help him out, and finally I just bailed because it's so obnoxious to try and help somebody on Twitch.
Who's Ed?
Pawpaw Prince.
Oh, okay.
You know who it is.
Yeah, I know Pawpaw. I just didn't know his name. I don't know everybody's first names that well.
Yeah, I can't tell you what yours is half the time. You're just knack.
Carl, by the way.
Yeah, I know. It comes up on the screen while I'm talking to you. But I always forget. I can't remember people's names either. But it's not even that he's bad. He's doing really good. It's just trying to get him to do the little tweaky things that make life easier. And the problem is one, he doesn't pay attention to the chat, which is fine. I don't either. But two is I'm like, no, wait, stop. Go back, do this. By the time he looks at it, plus the 10-second delay, it's just it's like 2 minutes later and he's gone beyond. He's like, oh, what did I do? And now he's thinking I'm talking about something he did 30 seconds ago, not 2 minutes ago.
But I hate that when I'm in the chats with Walter, he'll be doing something and I know I'm 30 seconds behind what he's actually doing. I'm like, no, go back. You missed it.
Yeah.
That day he was trying to get the TiVo Monster, he was having the extrusion issues. I kept trying to tell him. He finally caught the message and realized what I was talking about. He's trying to do the steps per millimeter calculation for the extruder. And he's like, see, it's fine. He goes, he's going through it. I'm like, are you pushing, it took me like 3 tries before I caught my question of, are you pushing it through the nozzle? You can't push it through the nozzle and do that calibration.
What do you mean? Oh, you got to take the nozzle out to do it. Yeah.
You got to take, if you're doing direct drive, you got to take the nozzle out. If you're not doing direct drive, you're doing Bowden, you just need to unhook it from the other end of the extruder and pick a spot and extrude, 100 millimeters. And
we make it so big a deal. All you really have to do is take the extruder, disconnect everything from it, and do the measurement and just feed it through the extruder.
Yeah. All I do is I sit there and I take it and I unhook my extruder and I take my clippers and I cut as flush as I can against the exit of the extruder, and I tell it do 100, and I do that 3 times, and I take my calipers to them and I go, okay, I'm at this, and I do it again.
Yeah.
I do the, you know, I average it all out. I throw it into the formula. Okay, my steps need to be this.
Yep. Pretty much, if you're doing direct drive, it's 94.7.
94.7.
Yep, that's your standard direct drive, old fashioned riprap. That's not with the what do you call it, extruder, but with the standard brass, you know, looking old fashioned riprap classic 94.5 or 94.7.
That's like, what's the Bondtech is 415.
Yeah, something like that. But that's like
that Latin. The what's the
it is.
The E3D one's like 900 or 800 and something. All the gear down they put on them.
Yeah. Well, that Bondtech, do you ever hear that thing when I wind it up to pull the filament out?
I never pull my. I've actually programmed my Duet to do an auto unload because it's too hard to pull it out manually.
That's what I mean, but with the Bondtech, and I have 1100 millimeters of Bowden tube.
Yeah, same here.
So when I do an unwind, I have it set so it does it like 9,000 millimeters a second.
I think I've got mine.
It winds up and it starts pulling it out and it's going, and you just hear the motor screaming.
I think I've got mine set at like, I want to say like 10,000 or 12,000, something like that.
I think I got it at 8 or 9 or something, the actual back feed rate, but it's just so fast. Like,
yeah, because I'll sit there and I'll manually back it up 10 millimeter, like 3 times at 10 millimeters, make sure it's not jammed, so I don't just totally strip out the filament. Yeah, once it's moved back 30 millimeters, I'm like, yep, run macro.
Yeah, that's what I do too. But I actually deliberately have it. I'll feed a couple 5 into the nozzle and then do a quick unload and have it pull it out, and it basically does a cold pull for me.
How you get it to do a cold pull? Because I can't get the Duet to run the extruder without the hot end being hot.
Well, that's what I do. I heat it up.
Oh.
You extrude a little bit. You let the temperature drop to like 170 because I reset my thing so it'll let me back it out at like 145 or 150. I can't load, but I can back out at 150.
Yeah, I need to figure out how to do that on mine because I wish I could do it. Because with Polyalchemy, you really should do not a cold pull, but you need to do like a lukewarm pull.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't like cold pulls unless you catch it really cold. And if you catch it at the wrong temperature, it will swell and cool too fast and it'll jam in your heat break. I've done that several times.
I haven't had that problem. Well, see, I don't do all metal anymore. I got rid of all metal. I had all metal. It's more of a pain in the butt. I have the both of these now. I have the 3 millimeter Capricorn tube in them.
Hey, Mr. Butcher.
Both lined hot ends now. Both of them are lined hot ends. I have an E3D, and I took the E3D freaking hot end or heat break tube out and put a lined heat break tube in to replace it. But it just works better. Everyone's like, oh, that's a major upgrade. Do you realize that lined hot ends are actually the upgrade? They were all metal originally. They started lining them because all metal was a pain in the butt. You know, if you go back to like the original riprap printer, they were all metal or ceramic. They started lining them as an upgrade. So the filament wouldn't stick in the heat break. It jammed. They did retraction. There's a reason to line. Now, when you're doing, polystyrenes and the nylons and stuff, that's a different story. But PLA, TPU especially, you're foolish to try and run an all metal hot end with TPU. It runs so much smoother and so much cleaner through a PTFE line hot end. I just ran the 92 Shore Ninja Flex sample through. Pretty much without a problem. I had more problem getting to stick to the bed.
Yeah, I know when I pulled out my 3 spools of Ninja Flex the other night, I don't know if It might have been Mr. Butcham. I can't remember who. I know someone commented that they tried to buy some printed solid on Black Friday and they were sold out.
Yeah.
I was staying up to buy. I had certain colors I wanted. I got one color I wanted, and I fell asleep right before midnight and woke up at 12:40 in the morning. I logged in at 12:40. Now I bet money I got the last 3 spools of Ninja Flex and the different hardenses because literally it was the only 3 colors it would let me buy.
These right here, buddy. These are perfect. They're 100 millimeter or 100 milligrams, which is all you need. I mean, how much flex do you do?
Printed Solid was selling this for, I think it was like $15, $20, something like that for a, you know.
But you're not getting this though.
No.
This is the 82 Shore. This is like the softest stuff you can feed through your extruder. This stuff is like, I have yet to work with anything this soft. I mean, this is like rubber. It's not like hard. It's not.
Yeah.
Like
I wish they put the Shore or the durometer on these.
That's what I like about these guys. It's a little expensive. I think these are like $8 for these little rolls.
I think if you go on Ninja Flex's website, they'll tell you what it is, but they don't put it on the box.
Yeah. Well, this is if you want flexibles, go to 3D Prints New York. That's where I get all of these now.
Strike one.
And they do free shipping if you spend more than like $30 or something. So I order like 3 of these or 4 of them at a time, and then get a sample of something I want to try too for $4 or $5. I think these are $8 for one of these, and that's all I need. This is like a year's worth of freaking flexible for me. How often do I do flex? I do little tips to my little rolling sticks. That's about all I need.
Yeah, I took one of those rolling sticks home. I think you gave it to Natasha.
Probably.
And she gave it to my best friend's son, basically like her little brother. And she gave it to him. Oh, he still pulls it out every once in a while and plays with it.
Well, I just made this one says Murph 2019 on it. I made a new one this week. And they roll really good. And I gotta say the softer tipped ends with this much. I mean, this stuff is ridiculously soft. I didn't think that Shore rating that much would be that much. That little of a difference. If you're going from a 90 or an 88 to a 98, 92. I think normal TPU is like 90, 92. This is 88. So you're only going like 4 points, and it's like a major difference. I mean, they need to change that scale because it's like 50 and that should be 100. If that makes sense. This stuff is like ridiculously flexible. I'm barely pushing on it. TPUs, man, I can make rigid. You print it thick enough and you put enough layers on it and infill, it's almost like rigid plastic. Yeah, they sell out fast. They don't stock that much of that stuff either because it's not like really popular.
No, I honestly think, and this is the retail experience I have, and I don't want to say I know for sure, but I would bet money what it is they go, well, this filament's almost a year old. Let's sell it,
Oh, hell yeah.
Clear it out just so we can get some new stock.
Yep, that's exactly what they do. That and when they prep, like August, when they know it's coming up and they're doing their ordering, I'm sure he goes to Polyalchemy or whatever he wants to put on sale and go, dude, I want to order an extra, say 100 rolls. And you ship me an extra 100, and he gets a discount, and he just passes that discount on because he's ordering a larger volume, so he gets an even better price. What's up, Jake? Matt, Jakey Matt. I like Jakey Matt. I think we'll call him Jakey Matt from now on. I think you should change your name to Jakey Matt. Anyway, yeah, no, I'm liking this stuff. I think I'm gonna buy more of it. I'm gonna try this red next because this actually is an 82 or 88. That's the other thing I like about this. This 3D Prints New York, they put the Shore rating on it. This is 88. So this is 88 too. They rate it right on their label. They tell you what it is. And I like that they actually come in a roll. Even though it's a weird roll, at least it's on a roll and you don't have to roll it.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, this is red.
I ended up with red, white, and silver.
Silver Flex?
Yep.
You're just getting regular. What brand was it?
That was the Ninja Tech. The cheat. I bought all three of their
So that's actual Ninja Flex?
The Cheetah, the Armadillo, and the regular Ninja Flex.
Well, that's a good price for Ninja Flex, but I've never actually bought Ninja Flex because it's always so much more expensive. I bought a whole roll of Hatchbox TPU, God, like 3 years ago, and I still have more than half of it left. Just like the glow in the dark. One of them things you only print once in a great while, and you don't really. If I were going to buy glow in the dark again, I'd find me a 500 milligram roll instead of a full kilo. I don't want to store it. Why store it and sit on it? Yeah, it'll pay. You're paying a little bit more, but you're not sitting on it. I mean, not that I only paid I got that on sale. I think it was $18 I paid for it for the glow in the dark. It's the only reason I bought it. I think I bought that in 2015 or 16, so 3 years ago, and it still prints.
Got to break out the tools.
Uh-oh. He's getting a sledgehammer and a crowbar.
No, every once in a while I get I'm guessing I got a piece of plastic that's wedging itself up in the heat set, so the screw keeps wanting to cross thread.
Oh, what did you do? You set heated up anchors?
Yeah. I don't trust tapping plastic to hold a part together.
I don't tap plastic to hold a part together either. I put a nut in there, usually a lock nut. Well, yeah, that's better for what you're doing. That's better.
I forget. I did some model one time, and the guy put on the model. He's like, "Go on McMaster-Carr. You can get 100 of them for like $5. Trust me when I tell you, once you use these, 100 will never be enough." And I started using them, and I order them by like the 500 now.
I gotta go get my apple crisp out of the oven.
All right, just rub it in. Oh, hey, Matt Jake. I didn't hear him say you came in. All right, what the heck? I just cleaned the threads up. There we go.
That's weird.
What's that?
It's just we have a convection oven.
Yeah.
You're making stuff like that where some of it is exposed, like the apples normally, as you cook them, they kind of mush down and all the liquid drains out. Well, the liquid don't drain out because it's a convection oven. So they're soft little pieces of apple. There's no juice in it that's usually in the bottom of like that kind of stuff. I generally like the convection oven better, but it's not good. They're not as good for baking. They're better for cooking, roasting. Much better for chicken. I need a sandwich. Dude, I was a chef for 15 years. I didn't say that. I was a chef for about 8 years, about half the time I was there. I started out as a dishwasher, and then a friend of mine became the sous chef there, and then he became the head chef there. One day, the sous chef called in sick, and I was dishwashing. He said, "Dude, you know how to make all this crap, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And next thing you know, I was a sous chef. And actually, they made a special term for me. I was a dessert chef because they found out I could draw in sauce. I freaked one lady out because it was her birthday. We used to make this homemade ice cream, and we'd have matching sauces for the flavors. We got this little ramekin of ice cream. There'd be like three flavors in there. It'd be like strawberry, almond, and vanilla or whatever. It was always a three flavored mix. And we'd have the three sauces for it, and then the cream sauce that normally went on top. So I poured the cream sauce on, and I found out it was her birthday, and I drew little candles in the sauce with the other two colors. And they were like, "Oh my god, that's so awesome!" They made a big deal out of it, and I became the dessert chef. They made all the desserts from there on out for almost 8 years. You know what's really, really, really good to make? Blood orange sorbet. It is so freaking tasty. You ever had a blood orange?
Yes.
You know the difference in it. It's almost borderline grapefruity tasting. But you add all that sugar and then you freeze it and you make, basically ice cream, sorbets, fruit juice ice cream. Well, it really is. Sherbet. No
This
cream.
thing is just fighting me.
Take it out. Put a new one in.
I don't understand. This I threaded this screw all the way in, and now it won't tighten.
Try a different screw. Yes, I just looked. It's not done yet. Did you hear me just go down there? Mm-hmm. I literally just went down there. I came up just before you came. We went down. Yeah. Another couple minutes. Then got it cool for a couple minutes. And then I gotta get the vanilla ice cream to scoop on top. Boom! I wonder why I've gone from 179 pounds to 202 pounds in the last month and a half. I'm over 200 pounds again. I gotta stop eating. Don't like being over 200 pounds. That's fat. I don't like being fat. I like being healthy. Need to exercise. Try a different screw.
I did try a different screw, and the nut's wedged in there so tight, I'm going to try running the tap through it before I tear that whole thing apart to change out the nut. Ah, crap.
Yes,
I can't win for losing.
there's an easier way, Don't you have a little mini grinder? You can make a tap out of a screw and a grinder. You just cut the two grooves into it, file it back. You make a 1 or 2 time use tap. And actually, I've done that when I had a bad, screw head like that. You just screw it in there with the tap, with the homemade tap and use that as your screw. Suppose I gotta go get that out of the oven. It's gotta be done by now. La-di-da. 5 minutes to cool.
Yeah, Jake wants to. I guess he said he wants a smidge of your apple crisp.
He wants a sandwich.
Huh?
He wants a sandwich. A sandwich. A sandwich. A sandwich.
Oh. I read that wrong.
Yes, I used to cook as one of my 4 jobs I had at that time. When I was young and foolish. Worked my butt off. It was a long time ago. I used to build houses all day, 40 hours a week, get out of work, and I'd go work. There's a boat part store down the street, like a warehouse that, mail order selling of boat parts. I used to go there after work. Go there after work and work a 6-hour day there, filling out orders. And then Fridays and Saturdays, I'd work the restaurant. And then Sundays, I used to work at a video store. Back in the days when we had videotapes and you rented them. And I worked at one of them places. But God, I worked there almost 3 years, so 1 day a week. 6 hours on a Sunday. You know, work doing this. For old we.
It amazes me how noisy it is when there's no power. Yet how quiet it is once you have it running under power.
I still haven't gotten my duet that quiet. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I mean, it's quiet. It's a lot quieter than this one. This one's quiet since I put the line keyboard on it. But it's still not. Everyone's like, oh, they're so quiet. I'm like, no, it's really not. And then I got a Meanswell freaking power supply. When that fan kicks on, holy crap.
Yeah, I haven't heard this one power up yet.
The Meanswell, that's the only thing I don't like about Meanswell power supplies. My cheap ones don't have that loud a fan.
Okay.
No, they're both Meanswells.
That's pretty tight. I look to have the same gap on either side at homed. Only thing that's left to do is hook up my stop switch for my X-axis. And that's all in here, unfortunately.
So not only is that thing a belt printer, but you got it so it'll print up to like what, 2 feet tall?
Give me just a second. It is 400 wide, 430 tall.
That's insane, dude. It's like
Well, I don't do anything small. Go big or go home.
it's like a 1 year. How long is it gonna take to print that? Oh, a year.
If I want to, yeah.
It'll take a year to print it.
Yeah, well, I said the whole point of building this was to make. I was watching how Midnight Giant and Amy DD and everybody makes their swords and stuff, and this thing's 1 piece, 2 piece, 3 piece, 4 piece, 5 piece, 6 piece. I'm like, you could print that in 2 pieces. I mean, technically, I could print it in one if I wanted to break away support, but for ease of printing, print that in 2 pieces. Slice it right down the middle the whole way. Print the 2 halves, slap the 2 together, and glue. If you want to put
goop.
Yep. I said, now if you want to give it some reinforcement, yeah, you could make a channel through most of it and print it with like a half, you split that channel, you could epoxy in a rod the whole length of the darn thing to give it a little more strength. But the sword he took to New York Maker Faire was completely hollow. Because I told him, I said, dude, you're setting yourself up for all this terrible weight that you have to reinforce. I said, print it hollow. He ended up doing it with a 0.8 nozzle at 2 walls and printed the entire sword hollow from top to bottom. And it still had some weight to it, but if he'd have printed it like he did with infill, oh my God, that thing would have weighed 20 pounds.
Yep. Oh, I'm smelling that apples now, boy.
Will you stop rubbing it in?
They are woofing through the house.
No one likes a bragger, man.
I made a homemade killer goulash tonight, too, for dinner. That was freaking good. Really good. I was surprised because I was just taking crap out of the refrigerator. I had like half jars of and throwing it in there.
Let's see. Yeah, I haven't had it. I hear all these people talk all the time how they don't like these basic micro switches.
I prefer them. They're more accurate.
Chris Riley was saying he doesn't like them. He's never had luck with them. I'm going, I'm sorry.
They just work.
To me, the simplest solution is usually the best.
Yeah.
You start adding circuit components to a little tiny switch, that's just one more thing to fail. Now, I understand why people like optical, because you've got no actual physical contact, so you shouldn't have wear and tear.
No, but it's actually not as accurate. That's actually more accurate. You set that up properly and you put an overhang and you put a joint in the whole 9 yards. The more you cantilever it, the more accurate it's going to get, because the less movement you have in the physical item to the amount of movement on the switch. That's why they do that big long cantilever arm.
Yeah, because I've got it set up. I got a block over here it runs into. That hits my X stop. My Y stop's down here at the bottom. The only thing I might have to do with setting up the bed is I may have to put a screw in this block so I can dial in the...
That's what I do with all of mine.
But I was trying to get it set up to where it was... I'm hoping I can put just a very small notch in the bed so that the nozzle will clear the bed so it can come down and hit this on its own. That way you can do all the leveling through the Y homing instead. You won't have to sit and dial it in with the screw.
Well, I have a screw like on my Z-axis. I have a screw, but I designed a little mushroom cap that I glue on the top of the screw, so it's just a turn knob.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, if I do it, I've actually got. I got little knurled knob I could put on there if I wanted to.
Yeah, it's not even big enough. I make big, mushroom heads that I glue onto the cap of the screw.
Oh, I figured that. I mean, I think the screw would be enough to trigger. I want to make sure it doesn't drift. I'm like, I can put that big knurled end on there, and it'll definitely.
Yeah, well, the bigger the diameter, don't forget, the bigger diameter, the more micro adjustment you have.
Yeah.
Because, a larger move in a larger diameter is actually a smaller move at the bottom of the screw.
Okay, so.
Anyway, I'll be back.
All right, go get your apple crisp and make me hungry.
Everybody else first.
Meanwhile, 5 years later, Carl is still here wiring stuff up by himself because Tom thinks with his stomach. A sandwich made of apple crisp. I say skip the sandwich part and just go for the straight apple crisp myself. Question is, can I feed this through there? No. That sucks. Poor designing on my part. Question is, how much of those tabs do I really need? None of them. Haha. When in doubt, cut it out. Yep, I was afraid of that. I'm going to have to solder this thing in place. So I might as well go ahead and mount the micro switch.
No, they don't get soft with normal.
Yeah, they don't get any. Don't give Carl any at all. That's what he really wants to say. 7 watching. Let's see. Mr. Buttram, Jake from State Farm, Minnesota Maker. Well, that's 3. I wonder who the other 4 are. Imagine half the people are walking in here going, that doesn't look like Tom. Oh, sorry, Rover. Yeah, that's 4. Red light's in here. Okay.
Yum.
Oh, you did a la mode too. I hate.
Yeah, you got to, dude.
I hate you.
Not only that, it just freaking sucks this ball.
You know, if I was even thinking about sending you my palette too to play with till I got time for it, I just changed my mind.
Oh, come on.
You send me a nice hot fresh apple crisp, and I'll consider it.
I'll send you some apple crisp you can put in the oven and heat yourself. Well, that's good. Not great. They're not really baking apples. They don't soften up like normal, but I am so over it. It is tasty. Yum.
Okay, let's see. And TK's prints in here too. So TK and Red Light were hiding and not saying anything.
That's all right.
Just looming there watching me make a fool of myself on this printer. I guess technically I'm only making a fool of myself if it doesn't work when I power it up.
Never works the first time.
Well, it's not technically the first time, though. I've had this all assembled and printing once already.
Yeah.
But I had all the wiring just run up the sides and everywhere, and it was all the trial pieces. Now everything's printed in final, HTPLA, and all the wiring's run. The only difference was I'm running the nice E3D steppers instead of the junk ones I had laying around. So there's a possibility the steppers are wired wrong. So find that out first time. The goal tonight is to get it wired up enough that I can just run the motion and make sure everything's wired right. I'll worry about getting the hot end mounted and everything else after I get the aluminum plate for the build plate. So I got that. I'm kind of, once I get this set up and motion going, until I got those plates, I'm kind of at a standstill.
Yum.
And at the moment, that tensioner thing seems to be working.
At the moment.
Now, it's no guitar string like yours, but I really don't think it needs to be that tight.
No, it probably doesn't.
I'd say I hate to say it's probably undue tension. Wear your steppers out quicker.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking about loosening mine up.
I think literally you just want it to where it's like a snug guitar string, not.
Yeah, well, a bass string, not a guitar string.
Yeah. I mean, down here.
You want a light thumpy sound. You don't want a twang.
I don't know if you can hear it. This is down where it's at its tightest at the bottom.
Yeah, it's about what mine is.
See if that evens out a little bit if I move it back and forth a little bit. Should. That's interesting. None of the lights are lighting up. Oh, duh.
You gotta hook the actual board up to the freaking cable.
Yeah, my quick disconnect wasn't hooked up, which is probably good. I always gotta wonder if moving steppers around does any damage to the board, because you're back feeding power into the board.
Yeah, but that isn't a problem. It's just how much. It's a concern. It's not a big deal. From what I understand, anyway.
I
There
think
are those that will be like, "Oh my God, don't ever do that."
the wrong direction into something, it's probably not a good thing.
You can actually do more damage to your driver driving the motor into something that, and having a dead stop and it keep on trying to go than
Yeah,
backfeed.
yeah, overamp it doing that way.
Yeah. I mean, if you try and move it really super fast, yeah. But if you just do it like you were doing, that's not hurting anything. Yeah. That would cost money, that's why.
What's that?
You were saying why they put diodes in line. Stop the backfeed. Because it would cost money.
But I think don't the stepper drivers rely on some of the backfeed?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, the Trinamics do. That's how they read, when they hit something.
Sorry, soldering station's back here in the corner.
Hang on, Rover. Okay, go ahead, post away. You should be able to post links now. Unless I screwed something up, which wouldn't be the first time.
Heck, that's not fair. I don't even have a wrench, and I'm on here all the time now.
You don't have a what?
I don't think you ever gave me a wrench.
Really?
Let's see. Hold on.
Oh, yes, not. Sure, I did.
Yeah, no wrench.
Yeah,
Now I
no wrench. You're just not seeing it.
do.
Wow, this is good.
Push.
I love brown sugar and cinnamony crunchy stuff. This ain't bad for a little kit.
Oh, I thought that was made from scratch.
No. I mean, it kind of is. All the kit is directions and a bag of brown sugar and cinnamon mixed together. You add butter and, I mean, it's all crumble is apples, which you have to peel your own. Those are fresh. Brown sugar, cinnamon mixed together. And then you add butter to the brown sugar, cinnamon to make the crust. And oatmeal. They put oatmeal in it too. That was tasty.
It looked it.
I really want more, but I'm fat. So I need to stop eating crap like that and have much volume. But man, is that good. I seriously want more. Seriously want more.
I had a friend of mine one time. They commented how I'm starting to get a little bit of the pot belly.
Yeah.
You need to go to the gym or you're never going to find yourself another woman. I'm like, dude, at this point in my life, if they don't like me for my personality, I'm out of luck anyway. So it really don't matter.
Well, my attitude is any woman that's going to put up with me is going to probably look worse than me anyways. Because there ain't no hotties that are going to put up with my ass. They'll be like, that dude. He's too obnoxious.
What colors did I do the X stop switch? X-axis stop is the orange and yellow. Like, what musical instrument are you playing over there?
A rolling stick, man. Everybody should have a rolling stick. I don't even have weights in this one, and it's rolling pretty good. I swear that the softer these rubber tips are, the better it rolls. These are freaking soft. I think I'm going to send this one to Walter because it's blue and orange. Even though it's kind of a turquoisey blue, it's not a true dark blue like he has, but it's still close enough. Wonder if I put the screws in it, how heavy it'll get. How well it'll roll. Man, that was tasty. And man, do I want that more.
You keep saying that. I swear you're doing it just to rub it in at this point.
No, I just really, really want more, and I'm freaking having a real hard time retaining. Not going to get more. No, that's the whole point they're arriving back, is they roll on their ends. To roll in the stick. It rolls. It rolls and rolls and rolls and rolls. Got the poofy hair. I got the 1970s freaking disco poofy hair going on. It's 8:30 already? Holy crap.
Is it really?
Yeah. These didn't come out that well, but oh well.
There. All I gotta do is wire up this switch to test it. See what it does. You guys may actually get to see this thing move tonight.
Oh no, we'll cut the stream long before that happens. Can't allow that.
I won't complain either way. I don't mind building suspense.
I'm just kidding.
I keep teasing about this thing. I don't mind building suspense.
You know what else I've discovered about this super, super soft TPU?
What's that?
You can't use a heat gun on it to get rid of the wisps. All
Oh,
they do is ball up. Then you got tits all over it instead of wisps. You get the little balls of goop.
what about taking a lighter and burning them off?
No, I think they just shrivel up and do the same thing anyway. It, it just shrivels up and onto itself where it's so spongy. This is really, I can't believe how freaking soft this is. Can't really see it in the video, but I've never had a TPU this soft. Supposedly this is the softest TPU you can print that you can get. I guess it's 82 or 88 or something short. It's 82. Yeah, if you want to play with TPUs, that New York 3D Print New York is really good. 3D Print NY. You can get all kinds of sampling stuff and decide what you want. You don't have to just buy a big kilo and find out you don't like that color or you don't like that brand, or they carry more than one brand. They carry like 3 or 4 different brands. They basically just respool and make a few bucks for respooling it, which is fine by me.
What's that? Who you asking that to, Mr. Buttram?
What's the tube thing?
Yeah.
This thing, it's called a rolling stick thingy, and it rolls. Well, if you know what you're doing, it does. I call it a rolling stick thingy. It's actually a Japanese toy. I modeled it after, called a Kurkurum. Kurkumrum. Kurkumrum. Yeah, Kurkumrum. Something like that.
Da-da-dum, da-da-dum.
Yeah, it's a butt plug. Just for you. I made it for you, Mr. Butt Plug.
Suppository.
Oh, it's a rolling stick thingy.
No, this is not permanent. If anybody's looking at me putting electrical tape on connections.
Dude, they have that liquid electrical tape. That stuff's awesome.
Oh yeah.
I use it a lot of times when I'm doing like heat shrink tube. Before I heat shrink tube, I put a little on there, put the heat shrink tube over it, and then shrink the heat shrink, and it oozes out and becomes a watertight seal then.
Okay, so
This stuff's awesome.
okay, stop switch is wired, so everything should be ready to roll.
Fire it up. Let's watch it all go clunky and burn up and go up in smoke. Come on, baby.
Yeah, literally. That's the fear. I can figure out where I put the power cord.
If it was up to your butt, you'd know it.
I brought a power cord down just for this thing. Where the hell did I put it?
On the desk. On the unit. On the table where the thing's working. Isn't that it right there on the actual printer? I can swear I just saw one. Yeah, that's it right there, dude. It's on the printer. Look in the middle of your printer.
No.
Is that just a regular wire?
That's other wiring.
No blue smoke. We want black and red sparks. No just smoke. We want sparks and fire and crap. Come on. Smoke's like so last year. We want sparks and fire. Fire, fire.
Fire and brimstone.
Fire, smoke, sparks, fire, fire.
Okay.
Or I can do it this way for you.
Off.
Fire, fire, fire.
All right, so
Fire.
first I'm going to fire it up without the ribbon cable connected. Make sure it still all doesn't go poof.
My name is Cornholio. I need TP for my bunghole.
And let's make sure it talks. And it talks. It sees it.
Dwight always talks once you get it talking.
All right, so let's turn it back off.
We want Rice Krispies with all the snap, crackle, and pop. Yeah, man, I like that idea. You got it. Need TPU for my bunghole. That's funny.
Okay. Here goes nothing.
We're going to get a 4th of July holiday special with the Rockets red glare. I'm going to have to lock it on here. Present to everyone.
Okay.
Here we go. Fire and brimstone. Fire and smoke. Fire and smoke. Sparks, sparks. Fire and smoke. Sparks, fire and smokes. All of a sudden he plugs it in and his camera goes black and everything goes black. Like, what?
Okay, y'all can see it. Well,
Smoke?
Home X.
That's Y, ain't it?
No, that's X.
Oh, right. It would be X, yeah.
Home Y. Oops.
One way.
Yep.
Duet, auto kill everything.
Emergency stop. Okay, so that stepper's wired the wrong direction.
You don't have to rewire it, dude. You can do it right in the Duet software.
I know. But I'm like, okay, I had them all the right directions before. So
the Duet software. Go into the settings.
Settings, system editor, config G.
Just reverse the direction.
Got to remember where this is at.
Right in the top, if I remember correctly. There's only there's so little to their G code. I mean,
I got to remember which ones are which, though.
Well, all you got to do is change it, try it again. It only takes 2 seconds.
Let's see here.
Because they're both there.
I'm thinking this X is 2 because isn't Z 0? Anybody out there know?
I don't know. Let me look. I'm firing mine up right now, and I can tell you.
I need to go in here and add comment it out or comment it that 0 is Z, drive 1 is Y, drive 2,
Hang on. Let me fire mine up, and I can tell you. Settings. System editor. Config G. Let's see. Drives. P0, S1, drive backwards. PS0, P2, S0, drive forward. P2 is your Y, I believe.
P2 is Y?
Yeah, because P0.
Okay, so I need to set that to S1.
Oh, no, P1 is your Y. It says it right here.
It says, where does it say that?
P's in my software. I wrote it in there. P0 is X, P1 is Y, P2 is your Z, and P3 is the extruder.
Okay, so
I wrote it in there when I did it. At least that's what it is on my machine. You may have actually plugged them in different, so.
Well, we'll find out here in a second.
All you gotta do is the 0 to 1 or the 1 to 0. I'll go the other way.
Yep. Yes, reboot.
That is the one awesomest thing about the Duet Wi-Fi is you don't have to reload Marlin.
Yeah. Okay, machine control. Home X. Home Y. Nope. What the hell?
You got to set up Core XY.
Yeah.
Switch them both. You got to switch them both now.
So I got them all wired backwards then. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's all depending on how the software reads it.
Well, I'm saying compared to how I had them wired before, I must have flipped them.
Just don't forget when you home X or you home Y, both motors run. It's just what direction they run in. You reverse the directions for each. You have Core XY selected in your.
Yeah. I said this thing was running fine before. It's like I must have literally flipped the wires on the.
Yeah, well, that's not hard to do. Do the Y first now, so the X isn't up against the stop already.
Well, I've got it moved away now, so.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Do your Y first because that's the one you're having problems with.
Well, I want to see if the X still goes the right direction.
It should if you reverse them both.
Nope.
Try the Y anyways. Crap.
I had emergency stop. I got to wait for it to boot back up.
Oh, you could just do the kill motors, dude.
Where's kill motors? I don't have a kill motors button.
Yeah, there is. It's where's kill motors?
I've got emergency stop in the right. I don't see kill motors.
It's in your user defined micros. Unless you removed it, it's a stock one.
I don't have. I never had that one.
Oh, you want it real quick?
Not at the moment. Oh.
You can put it in macros. It takes 2 seconds to write a macro on this thing.
All right. Macros. Make new macro. Enter name.
I want to read it.
Fill steppers.
Edit. Oh, it's M84.
M84. That's it?
Yep. Kills all the motors.
Save changes. Machine control. All right. So
how about find macros over on the right hand side?
Home Y. Nope. And it didn't work.
Kill motors. Yeah, it did.
No, it didn't. I had to hit the emergency stop.
Oh. Sure, it always does for me.
Okay, so settings, config.
Which duet is that? Is it the 1.2 or the 1.1?
Yeah, it's a 1.4.
Oh, really?
Ah! The hell? There we go.
You might have to read the directions because it's an easy thing to do. You can do it in the software. I know you can.
What's that?
Switch it so they go the right direction.
Yeah,
there's a whole write up on how to set it up.
A different one here. See what happens. Connect. Machine control.
So your Y is right.
Hit home X and it's moving Y.
So you have to reprogram your X and Y. Hit home Y and see if it moves X proper. Nope, that's doing Y. You got to read the write-up on how to do the Core XY. I can't remember. You're moving Y.
Yeah, I'm moving Y no matter which one I hit.
So one of them you got to switch back the other way then.
Well, I've tried in all 3 directions.
There's 8 directions you can go. Don't forget they switch back and forth. Oh, crap. I got to remember how to do this now.
Well, I've had them both positive. I've had them both negative, and I've had one each way, and it's not worked in either set. So I had them both set to 1. I had them both set to 0, and I've swapped each one.
Before all that, do you have the M66-7?
At the beginning, select 4XY, yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Like I said, it's been I literally had it running. I printed those swords with it. It's getting I've got the wiring screwed up now that I put these new steppers on.
No, I know, but you should be able to do it. You should be able to switch it all in software.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to rewire it. You should be able to just flip the software around and have it work.
Oh, I know what I'm doing wrong. 0 is the extruder.
Oh, so you got them plugged in different then.
I'm betting that's what it is anyway. I'm going to find out here in just a second.
My P0 is X, my P1 is Y, my P2 is Z, and P3 is the extruder. But I think you're right. The newer ones are reversed. Mine's the older Duet. I think they moved that. I mean, you could plug any of them into anywhere. I just went down the order and plugged them in when I built mine.
Okay, according to this, X is 0, Y is 1, and E1 and E2 are 3 and 4. Okay, yeah. X is 0, Y is 1, Z is 2.
Yep.
According to the schematic summary. But that's for versions 1.0, 1.1, and 1.2. And
Yep.
mine is not. Mine's 104, and I can't find a picture of 104.
Well, do you just have it plugged into the wrong slot in the board?
X is 0. That's the third one over. 1, 2, 3. X is in the right spot. No, they're all in the right spot.
Unless you change the wires around, it's really not. You think the wire that's X is really Z. You only have 2 plugged in right now, right?
No, I've got all 3 of them plugged in.
What's the other one? The extruder?
It's not. Well, I got the extruder plugged in too. I got 4 of them plugged in. But I can't run the extruder because I don't have a hot end on to heat up.
Well, you can do the faking with the Duet.
What do you mean?
You can do they have basically a bypass code you can run. It's like a M107 or something. I don't know what the code is, but it tells it to run the extruder. It basically says there's no filament in there. Run the extruder for a test. It fakes the board into thinking the hot end's hot when it's not, and lets you run the extruder. It lets you think the hot end's hot when it's not. Sounds like a freaking jingle.
So let me see. So 0 is X, 1 is Y, and 2 is Z. So I'm going to write that in there now so I don't forget.
Yeah, the G-code tutorial over doesn't exactly follow with the Duet. The Duet's riprap firmware. You gotta get the Duet. They're the riprap firmware G-code list because some of them are different. It's like 80% the same as Marlin, but there's 20% that ain't. Riprap firmware is a little bit different than Marlin. Not a lot. I mean, again, most of the G-codes are cross reference. So your X is homing. And the Y is reversing. So one of those two you have to reverse. You have to do emergency stop or the kill motors work?
I had to do emergency stop. The kill steppers command is not working.
That's weird. It works on mine. Although, thinking about it, when you're doing a homing, don't do a home. Just do a move left or right.
It won't let you till you home them.
It'll let you move away from the home. It won't let you move toward it.
Nope. Insufficient homed accesses stack overflow. It will not let me move anything till it is homed.
That's bullshit. Just put your finger on the homing switch on. There's a way to bypass that too.
Oh yeah, I can click
I remember that being an issue with mine too. When I was trying to do the test setup and it wouldn't let me. There's a way to bypass that in the homing command thing.
Okay, so let's try changing Y to 0 again.
I was pretty sure when you had, I can't remember now. I went through all this the same thing when I did mine.
Because I wired them all the same way. I can't imagine why one would be right and one would be wrong. That's what I don't get.
Well, one of them has to turn left and one of them has to turn right in the Core XY configuration. You have to.
That was home X.
Dude, there's a quick here. I'll find it. There's a quick sheet that tells you exactly what to do when it moves the wrong direction. You read their little Core XY. Configuring riprap firmware for Core XY. Movement issues. Here we go. That's the one we want.
X goes the correct way, Y goes the wrong way.
This way to generate these files and riprap firmware. Of course, this thing's loading really slow and drawing because I got the video going. I can't freaking read anything. Okay, riprap firmware download ready. The easiest way to generate these files is using the riprap. I don't care about that. Homing files. What should mean? That's not telling me which. All right, here we go. If the head moves diagonally in the X plus Y direction, all is well. That don't make no sense. Core XY or HBOT, the riprap assumes that the motor is connected to the X motor output, moves the motor in the X plus X and plus Y direction when it runs forwards. And the Y motors move the head in the plus Y and the negative Y direction when it runs forwards. So you start with the M69 command and configure. M69P0S0. Then test for the correct X motor movement to send the commands from the console. The head moves diagonally in the X plus and the XY, all is well. Okay.
I'm looking at all the chat here. They're like, yeah, they're gonna blow up Carl's printer. Basically, is what everybody keeps saying.
Wonder how much material I can feed into the little chat here. This is what you need to do right here. I wonder if it's going to let me enter that much information in one shot. Looks like it. It's in our.
Oh, okay.
Not in the main chat, just in the group chat. It gives you all the commands to do because you actually don't want to. That's what we were doing wrong. I forgot. You actually want to do a command that makes it move diagonally. And that'll tell you which way it moves. Will tell you which motor's spinning in the wrong direction, basically. But I had to go through this when I first set mine up too. They kept going. Everyone kept going. You gotta switch the wires around. I'm like, no, you don't. I know somewhere in there you can do it. You know, they have a test for this, and all you gotta do is do it in the software. As long as the motors are actually spinning, you have everything wired up right. You just gotta flip the software switch.
I don't even know how to say the name of the one person. Can you manually jog each axis to the home position? If I try to home, X will home correctly, Y goes in the wrong direction.
No, he's saying just manually grab the head and move it over to the switch. Trip the switch so it says it's homed, and then you can move it around. You know what I'm saying? You know how you're saying you can't move it till it's tripped the switch? All you got to do is put your finger on the switch and tell it it's homed. That's the other thing. You got regular mechanical switches, so here you are. You're hitting the kill. You know, the emergency kill. All you had to do was reach over and flip the switch.
Yeah. And flipping the switch when it's not in home mode doesn't do a darn thing, though.
Yeah, so, but when it goes to home and it's not doing anything, hit home and just hit the switch. And that'll stop it from moving, and it'll think it's home. And then you can move it around all you want.
G-code console. So I want to send G91. And then I want to do G1, S2, X10, F3000. If the head moves diagonally in the plus X and plus Y directions, all is well.
Yeah, and I do like F800, so it doesn't really slow.
G1, S2, X10, F800.
Yeah, and that way it'll move wicked slow.
I didn't even see it.
I didn't either. Moving down and to the right.
Correct. I just want to do 100 instead of 10.
Yeah.
If the head moves down in the plus X and plus Y directions, all is well. If it moves in the negative X and negative Y directions, change S parameter to S1 in the M60P0 command. If it moves toward positive X and negative Y, that's what it's doing. Then turn the power off and swap the X and Y motor connections.
Oh, you do have to swap them.
Okay.
So basically, they're just telling you to unplug it from the board and switch the two wires.
Which means I got to relabel my stepper connectors at some point here, but
plus X and negative Y. Yeah, no, that's what you're doing. Plus X and negative Y is what you're doing, yep. Because you're homing down and to the left, right? Not to the right, which is where it should be.
I'm setting everything back to the way it was before because that was probably the problem the whole darn time.
Well, you should have just left it alone. Now it was right. You switch those two.
No, we were forcing the settings. We weren't running off the Duet firmware. We were forcing the S0 or S1 command. Weren't we?
I don't know, but you had it set there. Everything's right. You just had to switch the plugs. Now it should work. You shouldn't have to change anything at that point. What that reads. But whatever. You can always set it back. You actually getting a home X? And a home Y. There you go.
So I just need to change my labels on those two. There it moves. Let's see.
You got to get them wires up. You're going to yank them on something. Look like they just caught on something on the way up. Now you got to measure your movement and make sure you're doing a division of whatever. What are those? All the hot end, the actual hot end wires?
Yeah, all the cooling fans for the hot end and the thermistor, and
Right.
had a cable tie around here somewhere or wire wrap.
Yeah, them Velcro ones are really good for that right there.
I'm just going to use wire.
Yeah, that'll work. But I love the Velcro-y ones for that kind of thing because it's less likely to short out.
Let's see if the Z's working right. So there's no home access for the Z, so I just got to hit the button and it'll wait a second. All right, so if I go forward, it should roll the barrel that direction. And it's working the right direction.
And the last thing to test is the extruder, which there is a way to test it. Take a test mode.
Well, if all these are moving the right direction, the extruder should be too, because I wired all of them the same. The only thing I had, if this is right, then the only thing I had was I thought this was X and this is Y, and apparently this is X and this is Y. So I guess technically I don't need a relay. Well, yeah, I guess I do got to relabel it, but.
Firmware is probably running it from turning because there's no temperature input. It's probably easiest to hook the hot end up.
Okay, now what's going on?
There's a bypass. I know there's.
All right, my steps aren't right. With these new E3Ds must have a different, yeah, because they're 0.9 degree. I got to change that too.
You got to double everything then. Whatever you had, you should be at 800. How many micro steps you doing?
That's what I'm looking at. Steps per millimeter. X80, Y80, and Z is something I had to calculate up. So I got to do X160.
Yeah. If you're just doing 60. That's per centimeter.
Per millimeter. Yeah.
Because it should be 80. It should be 400. I thought. Or the hell is mine set at? Steps per millimeter. Mine are 80, 80, 400, and 410. So it's going to be 160, 160, whatever your Z
I thought it seemed like it was moving slow.
But I would measure it. I would take with that, you can actually just take a permanent marker and measure out your 100 millimeters, 10 centimeters, line it up with the line, and then see if it moves over to the next one. Yeah, it's kind of whipping right along now. How far are you supposed to be going per hit?
100. Now remember, just because it can print 430 high, there's more than 430 millimeters of movement, though.
Oh,
Because
right.
it's at a diagonal. I can print 430 high, but it's like 600 and something. It's like 636.
You're doing the Palladium theorem thing there that I can never say the word to. So you actually got to calculate it different.
Now, if I remember right, I should be able to go 405, and I don't think I'm quite going to get it anymore with those new adjusters.
I would just set it at 400 and leave it. That way it will never go that far anyways.
405. And it won't go any further.
Yeah, like I said, I would leave it at 400, and that way you can't bottom
Yeah.
yourself out. That's what I do. I always leave everything 5. Actually, on this one, I have it at 10. It's actually a 200 by 200 by 190, and I have it set for 190 by 190 by 175. So I have 15 millimeters of head clearance. Because remember, what is Wiley 15 millimeter head clearance? You know when they stop and the head lifts up and then slides over? It goes up 10 millimeters. So I want that 15 millimeters of clearance. It's like 5 for safety and then 10 for the head lift.
Yep, I'm maxed. Only bad thing is my ceiling's so low the cable hits the roof when I go that high.
Oh well, it's not gonna hurt it. Big flex. Now you gotta do your calculations for actual, millimeters of raise.
Well, let's see. We'll go. Let's take X.
Yeah. Doesn't the Blackbird freaking software or slicer counteract for that? Doesn't it automatically calculate that excess?
Oh, I know what I'll do. I really don't want to put pen marks on my rail, but I know what I can do.
Oh, you don't have any 2020. I thought that was wrapped around 2020 or something. Yeah, just put a mark next to it, move it over 100 millimeters.
Right up against the bearing.
Yep.
X minus 100.
And then measure 10 centimeters. I mean, that shouldn't change. That should be fine. I'm assuming you're using a standard 22 gear thingy.
99.73, and that's just a rough measurement. So I'm going to say that's good.
I was going to say you're close enough for this. You might want to adjust it later, but that's going to be your hard one to figure out.
No, because it still moves 100 millimeters. All the calculations.
Yeah, the calculation's actually done in the software to counter for the 45.
Right, it's done in the slice, not in the movement.
Right, so you're still doing the 100 millimeter guy.
So that should be 100 millimeters.
Yeah, that shouldn't change any. It's almost impossible for it to calculate any other way. Unless you got a pulley somewhere that's a different size.
Yeah, I didn't see how that's 99.04, and I don't know how close I got the tape. So it was kind of hard to see it.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking steps is right there. I'm probably going to have to double my Z. Nope, because that's a 1.8, which I'm pretty sure is what the other one was calculated at. So my Z should still be right. I can't test it, though, until I got a belt on there. So
put a regular tooth belt on there and just run it. No, seriously, run a piece of freaking G2 belt around.
I don't have the other roller on yet either.
Oh right. Oh, yeah.
Kind of missing a roller here.
Yeah, you can still tension it with your finger and see how it rolls through. But yeah, that's something you can do later. Use some blue tape. Make a blue tape belt.
Show the control panel. It's not there yet. Hold on. The control panel.
Oh, you got a duet Wi-Fi panel?
Yeah, I got the panel due 7.5, 7i or whatever. There's the wiring for it. There's the panel. And wherever I set that piece of extrusion I had earlier, that's the bracket that goes right here to hold it.
Cool. Oh, boy.
I don't know where I set that now. I'm losing my darn mind.
I'm gonna have to edit the freaking video. The belt printer moves or something along those lines.
If you feel free, you can do a little bit of tease advertising for me. Say, yeah, the You know,
Friggin-
White Knight sneak peek. White Knight belt printer moves.
Is that what you call it? White Knight?
Yeah, that's. I don't know if you saw the little GIF I put out there. I did a little teaser GIF. White Knight coming to Murph 2019.
You know, I haven't even been watching too many videos. The only one I actually did watch today was Brian's put one out.
No, all I did was I posted a GIF on Twitter just saying White Knight coming 2019.
Oh, did you? I didn't even see that. That I was on Twitter earlier.
Yeah, I posted that on New Year's Eve.
Brian does some really thorough videos, man. He must spend days making them things. Do you watch his videos?
Which one?
Oh, he just did one today. I don't watch a lot of his, but
Who?
crap I already know. So, but he did the one with the little. He did the little. I had it running while I was doing other stuff. He put the power switch on the power supply. You know, a little box everybody has on the bottom of them now. You know, he made one. He designed one of his own and put it on the ANET with the power switch and everything in it. But he's like thorough when he describes stuff. I'm not that thorough when I do mine. I almost always get people going, "What the hell are you talking about?" Can you explain that better? My little centering one, I did pretty good.
All right, so just to make everybody happy, before I turn this thing off, put it back out of sight.
That's pretty cool, man.
Oh shit!
What'd you do? Oh, did you run over your tape?
Yeah.
That won't hurt anything.
Ah.
That duet should give you feedback and stop and say error. Good jams on it. That's an awful fast home.
Well, it's an awful big printer. I was like, I had it like what it was doing when we first fired it up.
It's the same size as mine. It's actually smaller than mine.
I'm like, God, I was like, that just takes forever. I'm like, it's got to be faster. I just kept upping the speed. So I'm like, I like that.
Kind of fast for home.
Actually, I was surprised because it's not normally that fast. It was moving the same speed as the normal travel. Normally, it doesn't do that. I wonder if because I was doing other commands, it didn't change.
No, because the duet Wi-Fi is home.
Yeah, it shouldn't have changed. That's weird.
Yeah, that's got its own speed written right into the homing script. Because that's actually smaller than mine. Mine's 500 cubed.
Yeah.
That's only 400 wide. But the thing about it is, it doesn't really matter other than when it hits the switch the first time, when you're homing, if it's going real fast, you can actually damage the switch.
Yeah, it got confused.
Yeah, because that's what it should be doing. Oh, you know, did you hit home all?
Yeah, I did.
Home all's got a different script. You got to rewrite the
home all faster. So I got to go look at my home scripts and change the whatever the speed is on home all. Settings. Home X. My speed is.
I'm guessing around 1,000.
That's F, correct?
Yeah.
I'm terrible with G code. Yeah. Move X quickly to end stop. I've got it at 3,000.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
So home all is probably sitting at 6. Yeah, they're all at 6,000.
Yeah, and I got mine all at F at 1,800. I have it at 1,800 and 2,000 to the end stop, and then the secondary, the fine adjustment is at like 300. You wanted to do that second adjustment really slow with a mechanical switch.
Okay, I just updated it all to 3,000s on the home all.
Yeah, that might even be too fast. The thing about it is you don't want to hit that switch real hard. You know, if you're going that fast, it hits the switch hard, and you can actually, that's when the mechanical switches have problems. Because you start whacking that switch. It's about the right speed. Would you say that was 3,000?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad. There you go. Oof. That's what's awesome. That is, I gotta say, I was kind of anti the Duet Wi-Fi when I first got it. I really didn't like it much. But editing, the initial editing setup, it's actually pretty easy.
That's
The
weird.
hard part is
It used to hit.
you actually have to update the actual firmware, though.
Ah, that's why. I need to change that to 630. That's in the config. Or is that in
What are you looking for? The actual
the max travel? That's in the config, isn't it?
Yeah.
So let's see.
What do you call it? Max travel.
Maximum instantaneous speed, max speed, set works. No, where's my distance?
Right at the very top, general preferences. M208. Like right in the very first line.
It's not the first line on mine.
It's not the first line, but it's you got your config file, blah blah blah, generated by riprap, and
There we go. Access limits.
Yep.
So I need to change that to 630.
Access maxi.
And I'm going to drop that to 40. Let's do 3. Save changes. Yes.
Because right now I got mine at 300, 300, and 340. But it'll do almost 500. I just don't have that big of a bet on it. I don't know how much I can get to convert this thing over to 24 volt. What would I have to do? I got 5-volt vans already.
Yep. No bang. That I like that much better.
Yeah, when it homes. Yeah, I don't like it when it goes so fast it slams into the switch.
When it's never slammed when it homes. I took it to its max and wanted to see if it would it was hitting the top and skipping its couple teeth.
Yep. Oh, shut up, Ed. I just want the background crap to load.
Yep. There we go. And ta-da, home all.
Oh, that's for a 5-pack. Holy crap.
Wonder if you could get the steppers to play the yodel sound on its way up. I gotta admit that would kind of be entertaining.
It would actually be kind of funny.
But I've got one better for these guys. I just gotta get it positioned in the right spot. Give me a second here.
Something. This is obnoxious. I gotta get a new computer.
Okay. Make sure everything's clear.
Oh, it sucks down into the table. I forgot about that. That's kind of cool.
I gotta put some trim on this lid so it stays on there better. But what printer? There's no belt printer here. I know not what belt printer you speak of.
That's pretty cool. You got that thing running tonight, don't?
I think you can take it off of me presenting now. The incredible disappearing printer. Though I do like that idea. That would be awesome if it yodeled as it went up and down.
Yeah, you got to make it so that top flips away though, like automatically.
This?
You can like take it, yeah. So you can like take it to Earth. For one, you got a table that way, and two, you know, it's like you bring the box and everyone's like, "What's that?" And you go click, and it like rises up out of it.
Oh, now hold on. Here you go. Let me see if I can
Like,
find the file.
It's like something you'd see out of freaking Star Wars, you know.
Where did it go? Desktop, Film Express, exports. Nope, that's not where it's at. Videos, soundtracks. I know I had it somewhere. How did I do that?
Don't be playing no freaking reserved audio on my stream.
I'll only play a few seconds. That way it won't get us in trouble.
But he plays on tune as it rises. That's a good idea, actually.
No, I've got the perfect song. I made a teaser video for Midnight Giant when I made this.
I gotta go to bed.
What?
2001 Space Odyssey. Yeah, that's not a bad one either. What the hell is that? It just sounds like running. Yeah. Oh, 2001 Space Odyssey is a cool idea.
Yeah, like you're saying, so 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yeah, that would be a cool idea if you're gonna do the just as it comes out, you know.
I created a video to send to Mike when I first got it, the printer going, and I had the whole thing coming up. I said I've got a smoke machine. I said I need to have the smoke machine and everything going at Murph and dum 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 dum.
Yeah. Need smoke and disco lights.
Need smoke and disco lights too. Yep, I got all that. Well, I got the smoke. I don't really have any disco lights, but you can get those Christmas star scene things like dirt cheap on clearance right now. I thought about getting one of them and having it projecting up on the ceiling.
Yeah, you know, I was thinking about getting like some Christmas lights this year or next year. That's what I did like 2 years ago. I bought a whole bunch for the garage. I got them like a quarter price. I think I got like 6 rolls for like $8.
You know you got it still locked on me, right?
Yeah, whatever. I'm about ready to kill anyways.
Monty Python with the 3D printing backdrops. Don't the intro to Monty. Oh. But yeah, I'll have to print a few more of these before we got to finish tweaking the design on it. But that's basically the maker sword we made for it. Got the White Knight logo in it, and Knack 3D Designs a Midnight Giant, and
Cool.
the whole idea is when I load the files up on Thingiverse, I'm going to have some pre-sliced files.
Yep.
One will be my respect to the Chris Riley, and the first thing you'll print will be a Benchy. The second print you can print will be Sir Layers a lot. And then once you're okay, you've got everything dialed in, you're working good. Now print your sword. I'm going to tell everybody, don't post the make of your printer till you've printed your sword. I want to see your sword in the background with your printer.
Well, my next thing to do is I'm going to take I made that stupid Chris Riley head. So I'm going to put a little body on him. And I'm going to put him inside a Benchy. Like a really big Benchy with Chris Riley driving the Benchy.
That would be pretty cool.
And then the other thing I got to do is I got to put what's his name, the actual instructor. What the hell's his name? The guy who actually made Benchy. Swedish guy.
Daniel Noré.
Yeah, Daniel. Have him next to him, but have him go he doesn't want, he's scared to have Chris Riley driving. The other one I was gonna do is my little hot rod from Earth that I did for the Pinewood Derby. I'm gonna do a little take my Walter, put him driving that, and then have Fun King next to him, and again going.
Well, see, what you should do is you should print a big Benchy. You need a model Glenn. Actually, you can just put the head on. You need to have the Benchy with Chris at the wheel, Walter hanging out one side of the cabin, Glenn hanging out the other side, and then print a little inner tube, and have just like a torso up of Daniel Noré being pulled behind the boat.
That would be funny, actually. And mount a little outboard on the back of it. Make it wheeling. I'm gonna have to do that now.
What?
I got 8 projects all lined up right now. I got most of the video shot. I gotta start editing.
What did TK just post a link to?
I don't know. Probably something that was similar to what I was talking about.
Oh, it's already. I think someone's already modeled Daniel Noré, so they're gonna save you time.
Daniel Noré can holder. Okay. Oh, no way. Oh, he's got a handle in the back of his head. No way. That's awesome. Oh, crap. I'm surprised someone hasn't stuck his head inside the boat Benchy or something yet,
I'm sure somebody probably has. I can't. It's not even loading on mine. My internet's being so slow right now.
Oh, have you done the whole Thingiverse hack yet?
No, I haven't. I saw Jesse post it. I haven't had a chance to.
Yeah, dude, it takes 2 seconds. Just do it now. Just do it. It's still not perfect. You'll still get that every once in a while lag, but I'll tell you what. I used to hit reload, stop, reload, stop, reload. Eventually,
yeah, it's really bad on Edge with having to do that.
But if now the worst I ever have to do is I have to stop it. I always stop it and then reload it, and it'll always load right away. After that.
Yeah, I'm not getting the picture, unfortunately. I'll look at it later.
It's just Daniel Noré's head, and he's got a handle sticking out of the back of his head. So you can put a beer in him. Top of his head's hollow, and he set the beer in there. He's got a handle coming out the back of his head.
What? So what is the hack that he did?
Just go to ghoster.com.
So what, you're adding a plugin that blocks something else, basically?
Yeah, it's ad blocker. If you have an ad blocker, you can do it with that too. But I have ad blockers, and I actually took them out and put Ghoster in. I like Ghoster better. It's a little more thorough. It's a little more adjustable than most of the ad blockers are. It gives you a better readout of what you're blocking and what you're not. It's kind of a nice plug. It's a well done plugin, and it works on everything. They were saying it's only good for Chrome, but Chrome just has their own built-in, loading for it. All the other ones you have to actually go to Ghoster and download the plugin and load it in.
Cool.
I got it on Safari on my Mac, and it works beautifully.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
I think I'll go get dinner. I had a productive night. I got this thing moving again.
Yeah, now you gotta just clean it all up and hook up a hot end and put a belt on it.
As unfortunately, until I get the aluminum build plate, I'm not touching it anymore because it's kind of pointless to do anything else until I've got the build plate on there to get my, my axis, my Y-axis set and everything else. So.
Well, you can mount the hot end. That's not going to change.
And actually, that's going to affect everything because I have to position the build plate to match the hot end.
Right. So you need the hot end on there to set the build plate.
I got it sitting there. I want the build plate before I do anything else. And Mike's supposed to be sending me that, so this will help me put leverage on him. I'm not touching it until you get me a build plate.
I'm almost wondering if you can put the belt on a 45 instead of the whole head. The thing normally.
The problem is the belt doing it. I've seen people try to do the belt.
It's still got to move the Z or basically the X along or Y along.
I've seen people try and do it where the belt's at the 45 and the axis is square, but they say you run into issues where it leans and stuff into the print.
Yeah.
You get anything that's at all light, and you're trying to do supports. Gravity's going to make the supports fall away.
Yep.
Where's TK at? 2:30 a.m. He's in Europe somewhere.
Yeah, he's in England, I think. England or Scotland.
He's not answering us now, or the lag's really bad.
I got it set at 5 seconds. 6 seconds.
North Wales, okay.
So, yeah, England. He's a Welsh boy. I can't even do that. I think of an accent.
2:30 a.m. Let's see, in Wales. Isn't that tea and crumpet time? No, that's 10 a.m. I'm sorry, that's 10 a.m.
That's about when he starts waking up. He's got weird ass hours.
My first mother-in-law was from England somewhere, and she would no. She goes, you have breakfast. Tea and crumpets is at 10, and she went through this is brunch, this is lunch, this is tea time. She'd go on like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, okay. Okay, Samwise, or whichever hobbit it was that was whining that he didn't get his 8 meals a day.
I don't get this about 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. Wow. You work night shift, TK?
He's out of work. He's on medical leave.
Oh. I know when I was working nights in the military, I had tinfoil across the windows and
yeah. I used to work nights and it was hard to sleep during the day.
Everybody called me the vampire because I had the tinfoil on my windows. It's like I didn't work day shift at all for 3 years in Hawaii. I either worked mids or swings. So swings was from 3 to midnight, and then midnight, mids was midnight to 7 a.m. So it's like, okay, I was always sleeping during daylight. Well, something caught your attention.
What?
Oh no, you're sitting there looking up at something.
I was scrolling back because Rover posted that contest or whatever. I was just going to click on it and see what it even was. Something about lasers or something. Here it is.
Call it the. I'm looking at something Robbie Mac posted. Talk about call it the Carl Hangers printer.
Well, I kind of wanted to do the not the hanger printer, but the hanger CNC machine. That actually looks pretty cool. The hang printer just doesn't interest me.
Yeah, the Rover's like he liked mids. Was like when I was in Hawaii, the job I had, the equipment was doing its work during swing shift, so it was a dead shift. You sat there bored out of your gourd unless the equipment broke. You couldn't touch it. So it seemed pointless to have a full shift of people there. I finally convinced my supervisor that we needed to just take 2 people and set them to work the swing shift. One was on call for the other the whole time. But so we'd sit there by ourselves for a full shift, but we convinced them since the 2 of us were going to cover them all that we would just do 4 on, 3 off. And we were the backup for the other the whole time. We got more days off, but we had the risk of getting called in on our days off. Everybody else got to work the regular shifts and didn't have to worry about getting called in. It was great. That's what I would do 3 months of that shift, and they'd make us go back to mids or days for 1 month to make sure we didn't forget how to do our job, and then go right back to it again. So I do 3 months of swings, a month of mids. 3 months of swings, a month of mids, and I did that for 3 years in Hawaii. And I swear, I thought swing shift was the best shift because you're getting off at midnight. Well, all the clubs there don't really start bumping until 11 a.m. and they don't close till 3 in the morning. So you want to go clubbing, get off work, head straight to the club.
Yeah.
You want to go get some shopping done?
You
can
end
go
up doing that every day.
Work. I would go shopping during the day while everybody else is at work. I could walk around the mall without getting, stuck with behind lines.
Yeah, that was a nice thing. I used to love because like Walmarts are always open 24 hours a day. So when I worked night shift, I used to go, when no one else is there. I'd go right after work at like 2 in the morning, go shopping. There's literally nobody there but the guy stocking shelves.
And then my girlfriend
find somebody to cash out.
Yeah. And then my girlfriend lived on the opposite side of the island from the base, so having the 3 days in a row off was great because I go over to that side of the island, spend 3 days, come back. The only time I come back is if they're like, it's not working. All right, I'm coming in.
Just like when I worked for my big corporate company on Long Island and down New York and all over the East Coast, basically, but mostly Long Island. I used to go in at like 4 in the morning. I was the boss of the job sites. And I'd have like 4 job sites I was running, 200-300 guys under me. I'd go in at 4 in the morning and I'd walk the buildings. Everyone's like, "What the hell are you doing at 4 o'clock in the morning?" It's like, I can go in. There's no corporate supervisors. There's no one bothering me. There's no other workers in the way. I can walk through. I can check our jobs out. I can see what needs to be done, what needs to be fixed. What other sheetrockers or something fixed in front of me. They screwed up something or some stud was missing or whatever. Do all that work, get it done. 3.5, 4 hours. The guys show up at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm ready for them. I got a list. I got stuff for them to do. I put them out by 8:30. They're on site working. By noon, I'm done. I'm out of there at noon. I'm gone. I'm out mountain biking or goofing off or going shopping. There's nobody around at noon.
Yeah.
Everyone's still at work.
You want a good laugh? I look over on my desk and I've got this cell phone holder the local liquor store gave me.
What the hell is it?
It's got like that tacky rubber on it.
Yeah.
So you can just take your phone and set it on it and it'll just sit there. But I'm just thinking about my belt printer. I'm like, oh, look, 45 degree.
That's what you should do. You should print a little model of your belt printer. That would actually be like, you could print a model of your belt printer as a phone or tablet holder. That would be freaking cool.
That would be.
That would be like a freebie handout-y kind of thing.
I mean, I'm assembling all the pieces into one gigantic STL file just so someone can sit and, look at a complete, at all where all the pieces go. That would be neat to go ahead and just print it like that.
Yep.
Run it through one of those softwares that'll merge everything together into one shell and go, yeah, print.
What are you designing it in?
I did it in 3D Builder.
Seriously?
Seriously.
That's so very sad.
It's the only CAD software I know right now.
Dude, you gotta open up Fusion. It's so.
Oh, I've played with it a little bit. I've tried importing STLs and trying to convert them. So because I was going to actually try and pull all these files in and clean them up with Fusion.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's such a.
Believe it or not, if I clean up files, I do it in Tinkercad. Tinkercad loads them faster, cleans them up faster, exports them faster. Tinkercad's awesome for the quick, cleaning up and modding, like putting one hole in a screw hole or something in an STL that already exists. Tinkercad's awesome for that. It works beautiful. It gives you a nice clean model that it punches out.
Yeah. I hate to think how much time I could have saved if I'd have done it in Fusion, because I know in Fusion you can sit there and go, no, I don't like that hole there. I want to move this hole 1 millimeter this way, and it will just move it.
Yep.
And it's like, yeah, when I get done all this build for Murph, I got to build. I want to come with 2 of these, so I got to get this one done, get all the parts in, and get the second one assembled before Murph.
Yeah, have fun with that.
Yeah, but then from Murph until Earth, I'm going to be playing with the mosaic and whatever other stuff people send me. I'm like, I'm not building any more printers. The only way I'm building more printers if I take this thing to Murph and everybody comes up to me and goes, no, man, I want you to build it for me.
Okay. $1,000.
I'm like, it costs this much to build it yourself. You want me to build it for you. You need to tack on, depends on who asks.
Just double it. It's a big ass build and not, to do it properly and everything. That I'd want $1,000 to build that thing.
Because the problem is that there's no way I'd ever ship this because you got to get it all assembled. I mean, I'm not sending it in pieces until, lift this and put it together, put these bolts in and you can go. No, it's going to be, I build it. Either they're coming to get it and they're driving it home or they're paying me to drive it to them.
You crate it. You could crate that with easy.
I wouldn't want to pay the shipping for it.
That's their problem.
Well, honestly, I'd look at it for me. I would use it as I'd rather tell them, okay, let me figure out what it's going to cost me in gas to bring it to you. And then figure, okay, gas, hotel, whatever, and I get me a free vacation every time someone wants one built. Like, oh, you want me to bring it to California? Okay, you pay my gas and hotel, and I'll bring it out to you and drive back.
Yeah, and pay me for the hours. And
yeah. Oh, I'd be happy they just paid for my gas
and ship it.
I'd be like, just pay me for my gas and my hotel, and I'll, because to me, like I said, I get a free vacation out of it. I'd be able to go out somewhere. They pay for, to get me out there, and then I just tack on a couple of days for myself. And oh, you want me to bring one to Florida? Okay, hey Natasha, we're going to Universal Studios. I get the free travel down there and just tack on a couple of days at Universal.
Yeah, I think Earth hurt itself moving their friggin' time to the later hour too, later months. I mean, I know they did for me.
We're thinking on the whole shot for the amount of people we'll have in it, it's going to be an improvement because the problem with the last date was school was not in session. Everybody was out on summer break.
Right, which means you're going to have people that can show up. Now you got all the, like Glenn, he doesn't think he's going to make it. His kids are in school. He can't do the trip.
Well, his kids are in school for Murph.
Yeah, but they're not going with him.
But the
he made Earth a vacation. He went up for a week, just like I did. I did the same thing. I took a whole week off to go to Earth.
Because they wanted to do 2 things. They wanted to get a full 6 months between the 2 shows.
Yes.
And that was the other reason a lot of people didn't like the other one, because there's only like 4 months between the 2 shows. There's barely time for anything new to come out.
The other thing is where that's a college, having the college actually in session during it might be a issue too. But
Act-
I mean,
the-
I'm glad because
the-
for me, that's
well,
the perfect time. That's when my work starts slowing down. Right in the middle of freaking when we went last time. That was my busiest time. My boss had a fit when I told him what week that was.
yeah. The one professor at the college, the 3D printing technology professor at the college actually told Chris last year that if they held the show this year while school was in session, he would make it a requirement of all his students to attend the show.
Well, that's the other thing. They'll probably get more attendance from the students. Because that's just, I mean, even if you're not into 3D printing, if you're at college and it's happening on campus, you bet 90% of them are just going to walk through it anyways, just because
Exactly.
it's a cool thing to walk through.
But he was talking about trying to make it to where he was gonna, if we were gonna, and I'm curious to see if he does it, to where they were gonna actually try and like have something made to come and show at Earth. It would be great if the college class took a table, or a couple tables.
A table. I mean, give them one. Not that we really did. We pay for our tables? Yeah, I think it was $50.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
It wasn't much.
Yeah, actually, it was part of the admission fee. You just paid an extra $1 or $2 in the admission fee.
Yeah,
the admission was $15, and it's like $18 for the table or something. I don't even remember.
I forget what it costs. I know this year, I'm pretty sure me and Mike are going to do the same thing we're going to do at Murph, and we'll probably share a space.
Yeah, see, I didn't even have enough space on my table. I took up, oh God, Colin was next to me. And he just had his little printer, his laptop, and he's like, take half of my table. So I ended up taking a table and a half just for my crap.
Because I think what'll probably happen is we'll bring these to, I'm hoping what happens is I bring these to Murph. Between Murph and Earth, I'm hoping people build and make upgrades for it. And then I'll go through and apply what upgrades I can to it before Earth. And
yeah,
I know I've been talking with Filament Frenzy. He seems interested on building one, and I really hope he does, because if he builds one and he dials it in and builds a profile for Black Belt Cura for it,
yeah.
Oh my God, I mean, I'll help him out wherever I can in building it, but I'm like, he's where he is. It's like I can't do much from here, but it'd make my day if he did one and build a profile for it.
Yeah. Well, he's too stuck on Simplify 3D. That's my only problem. I mean, he gets cool prints out of it. Don't get me wrong. And you can, but the other slicers can do just as much as Simplify 3D.
Yeah. I mean, I told him, I said, I mean,
I'm finding more and more and more can do more.
I've never used S3D, so I can't say I have any problem against it other than one thing.
It costs $150.
Exactly. Why would I buy S3D when there are half a dozen free ones out there, and Cura seems to be the most on top of keeping theirs going?
Yeah, no. See, I can't even use Cura anymore. I can't use it. It won't run on my computer anymore. It just
really
and hangs, and they actually have an antique graphics engine they're still using. That's like, it needs so much juice to keep it running. It doesn't run.
I don't have problems with mine, but
it runs like I mean, literally, when I fire it up, it fires up fast, but nothing draws into, like, the menus on the side don't draw. They sit there and you get the little freaking spinny.
That's weird. I don't have that problem. How old's your computer?
10 years old.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
Oh, yeah. But it's funny because my current Mac, my Mac is just as fast as every Mac, is actually faster than most of the Macs up until this year. My mother's got a brand new Mac. It's not even a year old. Mine's faster. Way faster.
Maybe it's Mac, because I'm Windows, so I don't know. Maybe it has issues with Mac.
No, it's just their graphics engine sucks. Well, most people on PCs update their PCs every 3 years. They don't, I
ran my last Dell. I ran my last Dell 6 years. Went to Windows 10, which was the biggest mistake. I should have kept it on 7. And I went to bed one night, woke up the next morning, and I had a solid blue screen.
Yeah.
And I can't get it to boot up into safe mode. I can't get it to do anything. And I'm like, I went and I bought a Lenovo Yoga, the 2-in-1. I'm like, it's sitting there. I haven't touched it. It's still sitting in the exact same spot. I haven't touched it in a year, and I haven't needed anything off of it yet. I'm like, I need to pull it out one day and force it, figure out how to get it to force into safe mode so I can wipe the drive, or I'm just going to pull the hard drive out of it and run my drill press through it like 20 times.
I just pull the hard drive out of it, plug it into your current one, and then just wipe it.
I mean, I know I've got a military white disk somewhere that'll do the, write all the ones and all the zeros. And
all you got to do is rub a big heavy magnet over it, and it'll scramble it enough to no one can pull anything off of it.
It's like I used to laugh. I used to tell everybody what the military's official destruction policy was for CDs. You're going to destroy a classified information on a CD, microwave, and 5 seconds.
Yep.
At 3 seconds, you get a really nice lightning show.
Yep.
The only thing I told that to somebody once, and I wasn't paying attention, and the airman almost melted the microwave down. Because I told him, I said, how do I destroy CDs? I'm like, microwave 5 seconds. I wasn't, and I got my ass chewed because I wasn't paying attention. He threw 20 discs in it and he did one. He's like, he was cautious the first time, so he throws one in and he runs it. So I see him throw one in. I'm like, good. He didn't want to spend however long it took to do 20 discs. He put 20 in there at once and did it. Yeah, it almost caught the microwave on fire. It set off the fire alarm in the building. It made so much smoke. And it actually caught the discs on fire.
Yeah.
We had to throw a towel in on top of it to put it out.
The inner layer of CDs is very flammable.
I used to like doing it. I remember when everybody was doing a little CD hanging from a mirror.
Yeah.
I'd take a blank one and microwave it and hang that. And everybody like, oh, how'd you get that cool spider web effect? I'd be like, you want me to do it to yours? Yeah. I'd walk inside, throw it in the microwave, hand it back to them. They're like, dude, that was a playable disc. I'm like, well, it ain't no more.
Not no more, not. Anyway.
So you told me you wanted it spider webbed.
All right, I'm going to bolt. Later, everybody.
All right, have a good night, everybody.
Getting tired. Time to sleep.
All right, take it easy, Tom.